Welcome to Beyond the Chutes, is presented by ParaSight Systems. I'm your host today, Doug Simcox, and we are continuing BTC's special coverage of the 32nd Annual IFYR, that is the International Finals Youth Rodeo 2024 in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Now, my job today, is to bring you up to date on the action that's been happening in the three arenas. And remember, we've got 10 events we're going to be covering. So round one, competition. And just a quick reminder, there are 2 long rounds. There are 5 performances in each round, and the first round opened up with the first performance on Sunday evening, the second performance on Monday morning, third performance on Monday evening, fourth performance was on Tuesday morning, and last night, the 5th performance capped off our first round. So we're going to be talking about what's been going on in the 3 arenas and the 10 events that we're going to be covering. To help us with that today, of course, we're going to invite our friend back, Miss Rene Underwood, co-director of the youth directors, the arena directors. So how are you today, Rene?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am good. Watching from afar, I am seeing a lot of good times and scores come in. What's the general vibe there? You have been busy.
We've been really busy. So we started the week out with quite a bit of rain, probably at least 1.5 inches of rain on Sunday. So the arenas are really, really great now. The first couple of rounds, or the first couple of performances, started out with quite a bit of mud. So the times have definitely gotten faster from Sunday evening until yesterday evening when that round finished.
Okay, perfect. And everybody's had a good equal opportunity on good ground to compete?
Well, no, sir, because it really started out pretty muddy on Sunday night. Monday, both performances were fairly muddy and sticky, and then yesterday the ground was really nice.
And today, you had a big day. You were interviewing for the 2025 International Finals Youth Rodeo youth directors. How did that all go?
It went really well. We had 12 kids apply from several different states. We haven't made the complete decision yet. We finished interviews, and then we had more events to go to at the library and such. So when we get back over here onto the grounds, we'll be finalizing all of that.
And what are the top 3 skills that are required to be successful as an arena director?
Well, we want them to have rodeo knowledge and a love for rodeo, obviously. We like for them to be outspoken and well-spoken so that when they go out, they can tell people about the rodeo, and just generally good people, just somebody that when we do go to do things like the library, that they get along with everybody.
And how can this experience, being a youth director, an arena director, how can this experience help them as they move through the next few years in their life?
So I think the interview process is kind of a tough one. We have 7 judges. So when they come into that room, either ask all types of different questions. And we have some kids that'll elaborate on a lot of answers, and then you have some kids that are a little more reserved and quiet. But I think it sets them up, when they go to college and they have interviews there. And then we've had some kids that have went on from this to be very successful in the line of rodeo. We have one girl that was a youth director, and she's now the producer at the Cowboy Channel.
So good experience. And we're talking about this for all of our potential applicants. Keep this in mind as you're listening to this. So let's do a round 1 recap by arena. In arena number 1, youth directors are Tatum Roberts, Natchitoches, Louisiana, and Carter Hobson from Knoxville, Tennessee. Tatum and Carter, are you guys there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Good to have you on the show. Good to have you on Beyond the Chutes. Give me your general impression of the ground, of the arena conditions.
Sunday night and Monday morning and Monday afternoon, it was a little muddy and wet and slow for some of the barrel horses, and the steers kind of got stuck in it. But throughout the day, Monday, and into Tuesday morning, it got really good, and you could kind of tell with how the barrel racing ended out. I think the girl that won it ended up running on Tuesday night.
Okay. And let's go to the cowgirl barrel racing. That's DJ Birdsong, Claremore, Oklahoma cowgirl, runs a 16.125 in the fourth performance, to your point, on Tuesday morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and she wins a little over $2,000. And just again, 16.125, but second place is 7/100ths of a second behind. There were 3 runs in the 16.2s, guys. It's competitive.
Yes, sir. It is the top few girls. There's a lot of nice horses that get to show off. But I think the ground helped her at being so late in the week. It helped her just get the extra step above some of them.
You bet. And what's the forecast for the weather for these cowgirls and the arena conditions?
It's supposed to be clear skies the rest of the week, so hopefully that helps us all compete better in our own disciplines.
You bet. And let's move on to steer wrestling then. Crease Deering out of Chico, Texas, runs a 4 flat on Monday evening. In the third performance, wins a little over $912. 4.3 is in second place behind him. Talk a little bit about the steer wrestling.
I think this is one of the best turnouts we've had out of the steer wrestling in many years. I think we've had more boys throw a steer than ever. So it's been very competitive. The steers have been good, and there's a lot of good boys. So it got tough there, and I think the ground affects them the least out of all of those events.
Tatum, steer wrestling, how did you do? You were out Wednesday afternoon, if I'm correct, and you're riding Bob this year.
Yes, sir. So my first run didn't really go as planned. When I got down, I got a little anticipated, and I jumped after the horns and fell on the ground.
Now, what does that mean, jumped after the horns?
Like, have you seen the movie Superman? I'm
Yes.
talking stretched out, all 5 foot 10 inches from the saddle, trying to get the horns of the steer.
Okay. Giving it everything you got?
Yes, sir.
All right. Close?
Yes, sir. I've touched the horns.
Oh, you did?
I actually had a hold of them for a second, and then my momentum carried me over the top of them.
So, Carter, what's been the general vibe of the event? What have you been picking up?
It's very relaxed, but we all like to have fun, and this is a lot of times we get to see a lot of our friends from different states is during the summer run. So it's good to see everybody, and we all like to have a good time together.
Well, that's excellent. Get everybody together like that. And back to Tatum then, Louisiana Cowboy, team roping. In the team roping, we've got Kason Ritchie, Sunset, Texas, and his partner Benton Cox out of Weatherford, Texas. They caught in a 5.1 in the fourth performance. That was Tuesday morning. There have been 2 6-flat runs split in second and third, but 9/10 of a lead Ritchie and Cox have going into this round. Talk a little bit about the competition, if you would, please.
The competition's really good this year. Kayla Ritchie, he was the one he won it last year, so he is, I guess you could say, used to being on top, but there's a lot of boys. Nikki Northcott and Lil Michael Camelot, they're both very good. They rope with some of the best in the world every day and compete with them every day. And there's a lot of chances for the leaderboard to be changed, I guess you could say, throughout the rest of this week.
Okay. And we had talked, when we recorded on Sunday night, the possibility of a high 4-second run. You've already got a 5-1 on the board. Are we going to see a 4-second run this week?
It'll get faster here coming the second round. People that maybe didn't do what they wanted on the first round going at one to hopefully get a chance to make it to the short round. So I think it's a great possibility to see one.
Okay, perfect. And how did your run go, you and your teammate?
My healer missed to be sitting okay, but that's part of the team sport.
So how do you recenter? How do you get ready for the next run? What's your thinking?
You did your job. If in the case that I'm in, I did my job the best way I could do it. So that's the only way to think about it. And you can't always blame it on them because you might you might have just as good a chance to mix the next one.
I like that. I like that. Good advice to every team roper that's out there in the world. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate the feedback. Tatum Roberts and Carter Hobson. Hey, let's move on to arena number 2. We got Allie Jo Cruz, Monticello, Arkansas, with us, and Rhett Turner, Lafayette, Indiana cowboy. And, of course, they've got the tie-down roping. They've got the breakaway roping. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Good to hear you. And Rhett, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good to have you with us on Beyond the Chutes. Let's talk a little bit about the tie-down roping if we can. Tie-down roping, Court Boyd, Weatherford, Texas cowboy, and Brody Clemens out of Centerville, Texas, both tie with an 8 and 4 second run. Second place is an 8 and 5. We've had 7 runs under 9 seconds. Talk a little bit about the tie-down roping and what you're seeing in the arena.
All right, sir. So since the ground got better, first round we had some Jersey Cross calves, and they were good little calves you could make good, pretty quick runs on. So once the ground dried up and got a little bit better, guys started being a lot faster.
Okay. And what's been the feedback you've been getting from the competitors that are back in the box?
So far, I've just heard people talk about being excited and ready to rope, and with especially the calves we had in the last round, everybody was just excited to get after them.
Excellent. And, of course, you roped on Shaq, 17-year-old horse that we talked about. Sunday evening you went out. How did the run go for you?
Not great. I ran about halfway down the pen and got bogged down in the mud a little bit and misflanked him. I freaked out a little bit and misstrung him and was a 17, I think.
Okay. What does it mean to misflank, Rhett?
So when you flank them is when you roll them up on your lap to put them on the ground, and I had my calf didn't get turned all the way because of the mud, so he's half turned when I got to him, and his back leg got hooked on mine. So when I went to flank him, I couldn't get him rolled up on my lap because he was caught up on my leg.
Okay. So better arena conditions should help to eliminate that possibility?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right, let's go to Allie Jo Cruz. Breakaway roping. Channing Westcott, Delian, Texas, ropes at 1.8 on Monday evening, wins $2,600. Second and third are 1/10 of a second behind her with that 1 and 9. Super close competition. Allie Jo, what are you seeing?
Yes, sir. There's some very competitive girls in the breakaway roping, which you can see that everywhere nowadays. Breakaway roping's becoming one of the number one events. But, yeah, these girls are seeing those times from round 1, and some of the girls that missed in round 1 are coming after it in round 2 to get that go-around win. So I'm looking to see some fast times coming in.
All right, now you had predicted, I believe the arena record is a 1 and 6. We've got a 1 and 8 in the lead, 0.2 of a second. As the arena conditions dry up, the ground gets a little faster, are we going to see a 1 and 6? Are we going to push at that arena record?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There's some girls that can do it out there, that's for sure.
You bet. And you are riding Blackie, an 18-year-old horse. How'd Blackie do? How'd you do in your competition?
Oh, Blackie and my draw were amazing. I couldn't have asked for any better setup. I didn't do what I needed to do. I missed my calf my first round, and then in my second round, I ended up catching a leg with my run, and in the breakaway roping, you have to have a bell collar catch, so it didn't count, and it ended up being a no time.
Okay, and for our listeners, what is a proper catch?
A bell collar catch, so meaning it has to be right around the neck. It can't have a leg, or it can't be top knotted or anything like that.
All right. Well, we appreciate everything you are doing there. My goodness, I can't imagine all the activities you've got going on. What do you think so far, Allie Jo, of the arena responsibilities? Kind of what you thought they were going to be?
Oh, yes, sir. So I've been doing this. This is my 3rd year, and every year it's kind of a little bit different, but it's also the same. I think we all work hard to keep our arenas running the way they do, and I think Sunday night was a little rough, so everybody could
get used to it by now. I think they're all running very smoothly, and I think that's because we pay attention and we try to get things done the right way.
You bet. And great to have pros like you guys, experienced people like yourself, helping to put on this great rodeo. And we talked on Sunday night, and this is for the whole team, all of the goings on behind the scene and what it takes to put on a rodeo. One thing is we said to roll up and rope or ride or make a barrel run or whatever. Another thing to make it all come together, and you guys are doing an excellent job. I've heard nothing but great things, so thank you for helping us.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on to Arena 3. And, of course, we've got Ryla Bryant, Lakeland, Florida cowgirl, and Kinlan Yaden out of Otterburn, Indiana. So who wants to talk about polls here today?
I can talk about the polls. This is Ryla Bryant.
All right, Ryla. Welcome back on Beyond the Chutes. Polls. Hades Spence, Venus, Tennessee, runs a 20.540, picks up $1,100, sitting about 0.3 over second place. We know the arena conditions. We know it only gets better as the arena dries up. How's the competition been?
The competition has been great. There's been a lot of very fast runs. The horses are just so smooth, and that's what really makes those fast runs come along.
And you competed on, of course, on Harry.
Yes,
And
sir.
how'd your runs go?
Me and Harry were in the first round on Sunday night, and we had a really good, smooth run, and he handled the conditions very well. We did about the best we could in the muddy conditions, but we ran a 22, and it was pretty good. So if we have a really good run in the second go, we still have a chance.
And you are up Friday morning, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
for
sir.
your second run. And even though it's muddy, is there good footing down below? Are we seeing slips and slides, or the arena standing in?
The arena, and it depends on the different arenas, but in this particular arena, the footing was still good, even though it was muddy. We made the decision not to drag because that was for safety, that it was actually going to be better not to drag, and we didn't really see any slips. The footing was good.
Okay, well, that's excellent. Keep everybody safe. We had talked about the possibility of a 19-second pole run. You're 0.5 of a second off that with a 20.5. Is it possible? Are we going to see a sub 20-second run over the remaining days?
It definitely is possible. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, there's some really fast horses here, so anything could happen. We'll just have to see.
You bet. Well, thank you for everything. And what's your general impressions been?
I would say that everything's been going smooth, and we're just all here having a good time and rodeoing.
Okay, excellent. Well, we're cheering you on. We're watching and keeping up, and keep rocking.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to goat tying. Allie Autry, Anson, Texas cowgirl, ties in a 6.7, has about a 0.3 lead over a 7-second flat run in second place. Picked up a check for about $1,300. Kinlan, are you there? You want to talk a little bit about our goat tying and what you've been seeing?
Yeah, the goat time this year has been a little tough. We've had a set of tougher goats, which has let a lot of girls' goats get up. But if your goat doesn't get up, you're probably going to have a pretty good run. Allie kind of blew everyone out of the water. Last year, we didn't see that 6-second run until a short go, but I guess she decided the first one to set it off with a bang.
Set the pace. All right. Well, we had talked Sunday night about the possibility of seeing a 6 and 9. You guys said it was possible. We saw it, 6 and 7. What do you think's possible as the arena conditions continue to dry and as the competitors get warmed up and move into their second round?
Well, after seeing the set of goats and tying the goats last night, we have another good set of goats for the second round, so I think it'll get quicker and even more tough as the week goes on.
All right. And let's talk a little bit about bareback riding. Cash Lloyd, Clearburn, Texas cowboy, 81.5 points in the third performance, picks up $930. 78.5 is in second place. Who wants to talk about our bareback riding?
It's been, I think, tough. A lot of boys have covered their horses, and they've put on some good shows, so it's led for a good run.
Excellent. And as we open up our second round, which opened up this morning, we're going to be watching this as the week progresses. And don't forget, on Friday night is that final round, the top 15, and all of these events will be coming back. Let's move on to the classic event of rodeo, saddle bronc riding, colt bass, Statesville, North Carolina, 81.5 points. Third performance picks up $900, 80 points in second place, followed by two 79-point rides. So been some very high scores in the saddle bronc riding this year. What's your impressions?
All these boys have been riding really good, and this year there's some really good horses out here, so I think it's made for a great competition.
Absolutely. And what are you hearing from the rough stock riders? What are they saying about the broncs and the bulls so far this year?
They're all really liking them, really enjoying them. We got some great stock out here, that's for sure.
Okay. And I know you're the liaison between the competitors and the pro rodeo officials. Any work there that you've had to do?
Not so much in the rough stock pen. We've had a couple guys get injured, but nothing too serious.
Okay. They'll be able to come back for the second round?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. And then the final event we're going to be talking about, arena number 3, bull riding, Clayton Geaton, Cherryville, North Carolina, 86 points, Sunday evening, $964. I was able to watch this ride. What was your impression of Clayton?
He just had a really good ride, and he was really moving his feet, and he just stayed on for that 8 seconds, and he did well. And he had a good bull, too, so that definitely helped out.
You bet. You bet. The competition is tough. 86 in first place. You got 82.5 points in second place. So let me ask you guys a question. How are you personally feeling about the event so far? What are you enjoying the most, and what's been the most challenging?
I'd say what we enjoyed most is just being out here and being able to do this sport because we really enjoy it. And being directors, being able to help out with it is really fun because if people didn't help put it on, then it wouldn't happen. So as far as what's been hard, I mean, dealing with the different weather conditions can sometimes be challenging, and making sure to enforce all the rules to make everything fair. But overall, it's been fun.
And so far, all that's been working. No challenges on the rules. Everybody's had that equal opportunity to compete that you guys talked about earlier in the week.
Yes, sir. We have really good officials here, and we do everything we can to make everything as fair and as safe as possible for everyone.
I thank you guys so much. That was Ryla Bryant and Kinlan Yaden. Thank you for the feedback on arena number 3. And I've got a question.
Thank you for having us.
Now, wait a minute. We're not done yet, so just hold on. You had a big
Okay.
you had a big event today. You went to the library, kind of an annual event. Some youngsters were there. Talk about that. Hand the phone around. Give us some feedback on what that experience was like.
All right, we'll go to Carter.
All right.
I think it's really cool to be able to, a lot of people say rodeoing's a dying sport, and I think it's cool to be able to get out in the public and show people on a sunny Wednesday afternoon, just get to expose them to what we love and enjoy and do every day, and especially the youth, because that's the best time to get into it.
Well said. Excellent. Anyone else?
Yes,
Who do we have?
Kinlan, I think, wants to talk about it.
Perfect. Kinlan.
I really enjoyed the library today. It was really cool to see all the curiosity that these kids bring when we show them our ropes and kind of what our normal daily life is like.
You bet. And did you sign a few autographs?
Oh, yeah. Signed more than a few.
Did you? Excellent. Excellent.
Yep.
You guys are celebrities, see? They took you out to this big public event. You get to represent. So thank you for that. All right.
You're welcome.
You bet. Good job, guys. Very proud of what you guys are doing. And thank you for all the work you do. I know how incredibly busy this must be for you, competing and also having to make sure these arenas flow properly and get everything done that needs to get done. Did we cover everything? Did we talk about everybody's rides and runs? Are we good?
Yes, sir. I think you've checked all of our boxes.
Okay, well, that's what we aim to do. So thank you for that. And to our listeners, this is a wrap-up of round number 1. The second round began this morning, Wednesday morning, and then the final performance is going to be Friday morning, and that will wrap up round number 2. At that point, we'll get a sense how everybody's sitting in the aggregate. When we add our round 1 performance to our round 2 performance, we're going to see who makes that top 15 in each of the events, and that is Friday night, that final round, top 15, Friday evening at 7:30. And if you want to keep up with what's going on, you can find them on Facebook page. Find them, follow them, International Finals Youth Rodeo. They've got a wonderful page and good opportunity for you to keep up and know what's going on in all these great runs and rides that we're talking about. They are posting them up, giving you an opportunity to check out everything that's going on. We want to thank Rene, co-director of the Youth Directors, for all that she does, and we hope that you enjoyed this episode of our Round 1 wrap-up of the International Finals Youth Rodeo. If you do, please share it with your friends. To make your listening easier, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube. Search for Beyond the Chutes. And follow us, like us, rate us, give us comments, let us hear from you. Our new website has launched. This week it launched, beyondthechutes.show, SHOW. So go and check that out. I think you're going to like it. And we want to say thank you to ParaSight Systems for their support with our podcast. ParaSight System is a push-button parasitic diagnostic system for your pasture animals, your horses, your cattle, your goats, your sheep, your chickens, and now for your companion animals, your dogs and your cats. You can find them at ParaSight Systems. That's PARASIGHT systems.com. And we've got a coupon code for your mail-in testing, BTC023, for 50% off that testing. ParaSight Systems. Remember, all the miles that you drive, these horses are riding. We want to make sure we keep them in good condition as we go down the rodeo trail. And do check out our Facebook page. Check us out at Beyond the Chutes and like us, follow us, give us your comments. Come along for the ride. Until next time, this is Beyond the Chutes with
Carter Hobson,
Kinlan Needle,
Ryla Bryant.
Holly Joe Cruz.
Tatum Roberts.
Brett Turner.
Rene Underwood.
Until next time, this is Doug Simcox. Thank you for listening.